You just, boy oh boy, the shout out to Rachel. I tell you what, some people get very emotional about things that aren't really worth getting emotional about. But I just find it all a bit silly, really, you know. I mean, why can't people like the Beatles and Kraftwerk? I do. They're both great. What's the problem? I don't know if it's artificial, you know, just to stir the pot. You know, it started with Mazzy and Michael in Dusseldorf, and it was like, I'm older than Mazzy, you know. I'm the generation that grew up with the fucking Beatles, right? He's the same age as my first girlfriend, you know. Like, that's not their, that's not his, that's not even his band, really. He must have got into it a bit late. Or look, it's bullshit. Now I'm getting all pissed off. You know, I mean, it was my, I'm 70. The Beatles came out when I was 12. You know, not when I was 9 or 10 or something, because it's, anyway. But I do remember, you know, I know Rachel loves the Beatles far more than I could ever do, but I did grow up with the buggers, you know. So I'll never forget, I took the day off school, and so did just about every kid in Australia in 1964 when the Beatles came out to Australia. And they got the biggest crowds they ever had anywhere in the world. There was this godforsaken place called Adelaide in South Australia, and I spent a year there when I was a kid. My dad got transferred down there for they were letting off atomic bombs and shit out in the desert. My dad was helping to organise the transport. Anyway, this was in 59, 60. This is before the Beatles, but I'm just saying it was an isolated outpost, Adelaide, like Perth, in Western Australia. Australia was isolated in 64. You know, we were 6 months behind everything just because the technology didn't exist at the time, so we were always behind the mark. And the Beatles had a massive impact on Australia, massive. I reckon bigger than anywhere. And the biggest crowd they ever got was an estimated 300,000 people lined the streets of Adelaide in that 64 tour. And I think the population was not much more than that. It was like just unbelievable. Anyway, that's enough Beatle bullshit. But you see, you got to realise, you know, the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and Bob Dylan to Davis is, you know, getting upset today with Mazzy. I mean, Mazzy, you know, Mazzy. Look, I'm trying to be a peacemaker here. It's a fact of life that the effing Beatles, the effing Stones, and effing Bob Dylan are incredibly important, right? There's just no arguments there. I grew up with that. Bob Dylan, the Beatles, the Stones, the Yardbirds, the Kinks, the Who, the Small Faces, on and on and on and on and on. But I love Kraftwerk probably more than I love all those put together. So what can I say? I was still in my mid-20s or early 20s when Kraftwerk came out. People are going on as if Kraftwerk's just recent. Bull fucking shit. Kraftwerk have been around for 50 fucking years. Pardon my French. It's all silly, you know. I think it's just people stirring the pot. You know, I don't want to go on too much about it, but it is fun and entertaining. You know, it is, but I just don't believe this, you know, Beatles versus Kraftwerk shit. And then there are other ones out there that don't even like the Beatles or Kraftwerk. God in Himmel!